Alright guys, welcome to the $5 a day method. Now it's not actually really the $5 a day method, but we'll talk about that soon. So some of you are going to be familiar with this and some of you are not. So for the ones that are not familiar with this, the $5 a day method is usually when you have an advert and you run it at $5 a day, you let it run, you collect data, and then you simply you kill off the ones that aren't working and you upscale the ones that are working, like we've talked about in the other methods. Now the only reason I've done one thing here is because the problem with the $5 a day method is a lot of the experts and so-called experts and stuff will tell you that, you've probably heard it before, right? You can make $10,000 off $5 a day. You can make thousands of dollars off $5 a day. You can, but the problem is $5 a day doesn't mean $5 a day. It means $5 per advert. Realistically, that's what it means, and it is a lot of clouded information because these people come into the Facebook game and they think, sweet, I can spend $5 a day and make lots of money. Now that is the case. It can be the case if you run them for the allocated time they should be run for. You let Facebook collect the data. You start to do your kind of like breakdowns, and you can upscale it, right? If you have one advert. But the problem is most people will not let it run. They'll let it run for 2 or 3 days and they will stop it because it's not working. The reason it's not working is because $5 is not a lot of money to give Facebook to actually start to optimize. You think about it. If you're giving Facebook $5, it's not enough to work with. It takes Facebook longer to optimize that advert. So what happens, instead of it taking like 2 or 3 days, like the ones where I do $15 a day or $20 a day, it's going to take longer, 4 or 5 days maybe even 6 or 7. It is going to take longer. I've had some take up to 13 days because Facebook just didn't really want to optimize. And the thing is, that's where everyone gets caught up because they think, like, all these guys are telling them you can make money off $5 a day. So they've got this psychological trigger in their head that all they have to do is spend $5 a day to get to where they want to be rich and make lots of money. It's not really the case. And then what happens is they get stuck at this point where they're at day 2, day 3, and they're like, I'm not making any money. Like, I have guys messaging me saying, hey Frank, I've spent $10 in 2 days, I haven't made a sale. Well, of course you haven't made a sale because you haven't let Facebook optimize it and do its thing. $10 is nothing to Facebook. It is absolutely nothing. So what I'm trying to say is the $5 a day method works very, very well, but only if you do it right. And to do it right, what you need to do is you have to be prepared to spend more than $5 a day. You have to be prepared to do multiple ad sets. And what that does is it brings us back to our original methods. And this is either PPE, website conversion, whatever you're doing. But this brings us back to our original methods of the, what are we doing here? I just got a bit lost here for a second. Okay, sorry. So this brings us back to our original methods of the combos and stuff, where I do multiple combos and multiple interests, if that's what you want to call it. Well, that's what I do. I do the exact same with the $5 a day $5 a day method. So really, it actually turns into a $15 a day method or $20 a day, depending on how many you're doing. But people don't see that. And sorry, I just had a message there. People don't see that, but they actually get stuck and they quit this method. Okay, we know this method works. We have super high rates. We have guys in the Facebook group that are crushing it. Guys email me saying, thanks Franklin, you've changed my life. I don't have to work. I've had guys quit their jobs because they've built up huge branded e-commerce stores from a free training on my emails and on the Facebook group. And these guys have gone out and they've tested multiple adverts. They have done the $5 a day method. Well, it's not really called the $5 a day. Come on, let's be real. It's $5 per advert. It's not $5 a day. It's $5 per advert. But we'll just keep it the $5 a day method because that's what everyone calls it. So the $5 a day method, and they have made successful stores from it, but they've done it correctly. They've let the $5 run its course, and they've collected data. Like you might do $5 and you might get a sale, right? You might get a sale. Okay, I got a sale. I'm going to wait a few more days and I might get another sale. But it's a very slow process. Because you've got to remember that $5 is not a lot. Facebook isn't going to show it to a lot of people first. And you're only really going to get a buyer frenzy if you have a really good product that everyone's going to want to buy on that $5. So just let it drag out, okay? Let it drag out. And also remember, like if you know anything about conversions on Facebook, like per purchase and that, Your average is like between $3-4 per purchase and stuff. You don't have $5 just isn't enough. You're not going to get your 15 a week and stuff. So what I'm just trying to say with the $5 a day method, whether you do it or whether you don't be this guy that does just one single ad for $5 a day. It does work. Don't get me wrong. It can work. It does work. And if you do this, just make sure you let it run its cycle. Okay, let it run its cycle. Let it do its thing. But what you want to be doing, like I do, and a lot of other guys I know, you want to be multiplying these. And you want to be doing. Oh, that's messed up there. Okay, I can't do that again because it's overlapping. What you want to be doing is doing 2 or 3 or even 4 or 5. Okay, and you want to be running multiple ad sets because then you can start killing off the ones that don't work early, and you can start multiplying. You can start doing breakdowns on the ones that start to get you multiple sales, and you can start scaling out to your retargeting, your increased budgets, your interest, your ages, and your ad copy. So I hope that made sense. It is Facebook is a very tricky platform to use, and I understand there is a lot of like misinformation flying around the airways, and you're confused, you don't know what to do. But just if you want to go down the $5 method, that's completely fine. It works, but just make sure that you either, if you're going to do one single ad, don't comment below this video, or don't like email me or other experts saying we just spent. Oh, the lights just went off. I'm just gonna fix the lights real quick and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So if you're gonna do that one advert a day, just make sure that you don't spend $10 and you hit us up and say, hey, we haven't made any money, because you're probably not going to. That's really the fact of it. Make sure you're multiplying your adverts, you're using different audiences, because that's one thing I've been where you guys are. I've done the single $5 a day years ago, before anyone was even talking about the $5 a day method. That's what we used to do back like 8 years ago, 7-8 years ago. We used to do that, the $5 a day method, and we used to run one ad. And I learned quick smart that I had to start doing split testing my audiences straight from the start and all that sort of good stuff. Okay, so make sure you do that. If you're doing the $5 a day method, make sure you're doing multiple adverts. So it turns into like $15 a day, $10 a day, $20 a day. And I know a lot of you guys don't have money or budgets for this. So if you don't, then do the $5 a day, but you're going to be stretching it out anyway, and you're going to be spending $20-30 anyway. So yeah, I just want to kind of run through that, and I hope it doesn't confuse you too much. We'll go through more of it throughout the course when I'm actually doing some hands-on stuff. I just want to get this out of the way now, so you understand that this isn't a fast way of making money. Okay, the $5 a day isn't a fast way of making money. You need to spend money to make money, and really, the more money you spend, the more money you're going to get in return. So that's what you would start doing when you get to the scaling point. But it might just take you a little bit longer with the $5 a day method, that's all. And that's completely fine. But just jump in there, have a go, but just make sure you're trying to actually do some sort of split testing. It's going to help you out, and you're going to see what I mean when you start doing it. So that's it for this one. It's not that complicated, right? It's just $5 a day per advert. Remember, it's per advert, not per day, and we just messed that up. It's per day, okay? I want you to remember that it's per day, per advert, because there's no such thing as a $5 a day method. Really, it's $5 per advert. You can do $5 a day, but it's just going to be one advert, drag it on, and it's not fun. It's not fun when you're doing it like that, guys. It's not fun. So yeah, just jump in there, do some split test, and hit me out below if you've got any questions, and I'm happy to help you guys out.